Hey everybody, it's Haley here. If you hear some noise in the background, it is thunderstorming here. That's why I'm shooting this clip right now. But as you can tell by the title of this video, it's going to be to work your service dog or to not work your service dog. And I'm going to be covering a couple different things throughout this video. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I wrote down on the list here, I made notes for you guys. The first thing is it dangerous? So could it be dangerous in any way for your dog to go, do this? Of course, that can be a rhetorical question. I mean, you could say going to Walmart on a perfectly fine day is dangerous. Pet dogs, or, sneaking into the store when it's not public access friendly, pet friendly, you need public access for a service dog. But of course you could say, you can find your little ways here, but what I mean by this question is it really safe? Is it safe for the dog to go? And what I mean by that is, like, for instance, when I was moving into my home here, I didn't have Ruby running around. I didn't have her, just able to free roam the house. I actually had her at my parents' house because she was safe there, and because, we were moving big, heavy objects. And yeah, you could have said, well, just kennel her in the other room. But I had, I was moving stuff all around. It wasn't safe. It wasn't safe for her to be here when that was happening. And so if it's dangerous, the answer should be no. If you work in a place like a factory, yeah, they legally have to let you work and have to let you bring your service dog. But is it safe for your dog? Like, what if you're walking by and their tail, gets caught in a conveyor belt? I mean, you have to ask yourself these questions, unless you already know exactly what you're going to be doing and exactly what you're meant to do. But I mean, when I was working part-time jobs before I had my business, I would always spend the first few days by myself. It was hard, but I did it by myself because I wanted to know exactly what I was going to be doing, and to, have that in the back of my mind that, okay, yeah, I'm gonna bring my dog because this is totally safe. It's not gonna be an issue. And that's another thing, is if, you're a disabled handler, you have to find a job that works for you and your dog. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. So, you have to make that compromise a little bit so that you can, have your dog with you. So yeah, that's my first thing. And then my second thing is your dog healthy enough? So obviously we know that your dog should be health tested before it starts any kind of work. That, it should just, it needs to be totally cleared by a vet. We know that. That's pretty general knowledge. But what I mean is your dog healthy enough day to day to work? And sometimes that's no. For example, that literally happened to me yesterday. I woke up to the sound of Ruby puking. I don't really know why. Different things happen as to why dogs get sick. Maybe it was because she drank some water when she was playing outside that didn't agree with her stomach. But it can literally be a wide array of different things as to why dogs get sick. Ruby just happens to have a sensitive stomach, but you never know. So like I said yesterday, I woke up to her puking and, cleaned it up. And then I noticed, okay, she's not really feeling well. She's not acting herself. We'll just take things really slow today. I I decided that I wasn't going to go to the store. I planned to go to, the store to get a few items for myself and in some cleaning supplies. And I was like, I'll just put it off to another day when she can be, 1, ready for work, 2, be comfortable to do it, and then 3, do her job well. And the reason I say that is because if your dog is sick, if your dog isn't healthy enough to do its job, think about your personal experience, think about your low spoon days where you don't want to do anything. That's the same for them. So, in the disabled community, we're pretty good about advocating for ourselves and our rights. But in that scenario, you need to advocate for your dog and how they feel too. Which I know can be confusing, but would you want to risk your dog, doing that to your dog? Like, for me, it's a hard no. Another example is when I did work at Bass Pro, there was one time where Ruby had, basically I had taken her in to be socialized around a little bit more dogs because to a different training facility because I didn't have access to a large group of people. Long story. I took her in and bad situation, she ended up getting sick. I took her there for the day so that she could have that one day, and when I picked her up, she seemed fine, but then the next morning, she straight up couldn't breathe. And we were pretty sure that it was kennel cough. Of course, she had been vaccinated, but they said that it was some type, when I took her to the vet, they said it was some type of, I'm not medical. I mean, I know a little bit of medical because I'm disabled, but some different strain. But regardless, she wasn't up to work. And I had to work the rest of the week. So I took off that day when she was really not feeling well. 1, to be with her, and 2, because I didn't feel like, okay, I'm safe to go to work without her. And then, we started doing the medications, but I was able to find somebody to take my place for the rest of the week because I didn't feel comfortable working there in that environment without Ruby. So you have to make that call for yourself. I know that this is kind of a weird topic, to work your service dog or to not work your service dog, but it's up to you. You have to make the call, and sometimes it can be a hard call to make. Like, for me in that instance of when I worked at Bass Pro and Ruby got sick, it could have went one or two ways. It went the one way that I explained it, but it could have went that, oh my God, my insurance didn't cover my medication this month, or, I really need that money. I have to work. There's no way I could take off. And then I would have had to make a really hard decision. Do I want to, 1, risk my own health and safety because I don't have my dog, but I'll be able to go into, work, or I have to be, I'm just going to say unethical and work my dog while they're sick. Am I going to do that? That's still not good. But also, I just don't feel like it's a good idea, for anybody to really work their dog when they have any health issues. That's why I know that some people, there's a few handlers I know, not personally, but that I've met over the internet and Instagram, Facebook, different things like that, that they have 2 service dogs and they tandem team a lot, but when one gets sick, or if one were to get sick, they would be fine because they have another dog that they can work, and that they've done that before. For instance, a girl that I follow on Instagram, I followed her for a long time. She's a super sweet girl, very, very advanced in dog training and everything like that. But she has 2 service dogs. She tandem teams quite a bit, but something happened, while she was out one day with her first service dog. And then that dog cut its paw and it was unable to work. But she had to go do stuff, so she had her second dog, and the second dog was able to work totally fine. Of course, she did have that struggle because she was missing the first dog, her first service dog, to do certain tasks, which the other dog couldn't do, but it could do other tasks. But she was able to make it work. I know that's kind of confusing, but she was able to make it work because she had 2 dogs and she didn't have to go without, which I know is not always accessible for everyone, having 2 service dogs, 2 task trained service dogs, but it is an option. It's specifically for this scenario, which we hope never comes, but it does. I don't know a team that hasn't had a scenario where they're like, yeah, I'm not going to work my dog because they're sick, or they cut their paw, or they had to have surgery for some reason, or something like that. I don't know one team that hasn't had to make that call and say, I'm not going to work my dog today because of this reason. So that is something to keep in mind. As a handler, I feel like we all face this, that we have to make that call, that we have to make that call for our service dog, and that we have to say, yeah, they seem like they're feeling better, time to get back to work, or no, we're taking this slow because I feel like that's what's safe, and I want them to be as comfortable as possible. So, yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. I'm so happy that you watched this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I plan on making a lot more content, and I hope you guys stay tuned for it. So, thank you.